What's up, y'all? I'm right back with another interview, but this gonna be a little different. I got a poet in the building. I know y'all ain't never seen that, so we gonna get real groovy, real certified, real calm, and we gonna keep it pushing. So this is a special guest I got from Shy City, A from G, but from Shy City. So y'all better tune in and see what's going on, cause it's gonna be lit. Y'all stay in tune. What's up, y'all? We right back on Jazzy Gates TV, and I got Salam the poet with me, and y'all gonna see we gonna get real different. I told y'all I'm gonna be real versatile with it, so let's stay in tune with the interview and let them know what's up. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Salam the poet here with my girl Jazzy Gates, man. Appreciate her for coming through with the interview, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for it.
Okay. I got a question. What made you come up with Salam the poet?
Alright, so I was raised under Islam. You feel me? I was raised Muslim. You feel me? And you know, when you hear most Muslims like greet each other, they say Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
So Assalamu alaikum means peace be upon you. That's what the word Salam means, peace. You feel me? But like Salam is spelled S-A-L-A-A-M, but I dropped one of the A's and just spelled it S-A-L-A-M because we all fall short of being peaceful at some point in our life. So.
Yeah. So you dropped the A because what?
We all fall short of being peaceful, so it's still the same word.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the word, like spelled like the word.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's real different. Did you write as a child? What made you want to be a poet?
It started with me getting out of homework, honestly. Like
Out of homework?
Yeah. Like my teacher said I was doing papers, doing all of this, and like I love education, but I hate like schoolwork because I know I was so smart. And you know, when I learned about poetry, it conveyed a message like very briefly. So then once they did that, I'm like, okay, boom. Anytime an essay come up, hey, can I do a poem? And I did that just for that. Then one of my teachers, like 6th, 7th grade, pulled me to the side, like, yo, you kind of good at this. Like, you should take it seriously.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So when you was doing this as a child, did you feel like this is what you want to do for your whole life? Or is it just a hobby?
It really was just a hobby. It started out as just a hobby. I took it seriously because like it was an escape for me. So that part, but I want to say my junior year of high school is when I started to take it seriously. Like, I'm gonna do this, like really do it. Excuse me, and that's when I started like performing and everything. So yeah.
Okay. How many performances you done did?
At this point, I can't even count. Like, I've done so many. It's taken me so many places. Just to name a few: Bantu Fest, Columbia College Manifest, Indiana University, Purdue University, Museum of Contemporary Art,
okay.
Broward Center for Performing Arts. It was in different states, everything. So it's just.
So when you write a poem, how long does it take?
It depends really on the content. Like my first piece that I ever performed, I remember writing that in about 10 minutes, and then I have a piece like my signature piece that's about Chicago. That piece took a couple years to write because I wanted to like make sure like everything was crisp. So like anything
Perfect.
From like a couple minutes to a few years, it just really depends on where I'm at with it and what I want to do with it.
You got on the top of your head?
Yeah.
How long is it?
About like 3 minutes. About 3-4 minutes.
3-4 minutes. After this, I want you to speak to the people.
That Chicago?
Yeah. So, what's your favorite place to do a poem at? Like, anywhere?
Like writing it or performing it?
Performing. Where would you want to do that at?
Ultimately, I want to pack out stadiums with this. Like, so like any stadium, any huge concert, like,
yeah.
I just want just stuff like that. Just like a place with hella black people. I love black people. So
Right. You ever thought about writing a poem for somebody? You did that?
I have a couple people.
Okay.
I written one for my lady. I wrote one for my grandmother. You know, I've written some just about like friendships. You know, family. It like I said, it depends. Like I learned to make my writing like pretty versatile over the years.
Versatile. That's what's up. So like, what mood do you like to be in when you writing a poem?
Fried. But no, I just like to be in a space where like I can think clearly. Or like even if it's like a lot going on, I need to be able just to find my bubble of peace. Yeah. So I need to like when I say think clear, I just need to be internally grounded no matter what else is going on, because I've written in chaotic environments, in different rooms and stuff. But then like there are times I be in my car and it's just like, and greatness comes.
Greatness comes. The bubble of peace. I like that.
Yeah.
I think I should name that this. Bubble of peace. You find writing poems to be easy?
I say it really depends on the art, like the specific artist themselves. Cause some people like can crunch out poems like, and it's like fire, you know. And give everybody's art is different, but like there's some people that crunch out poems like, and it's like, I'm gonna take your time with that. And so that right there paints a parallel. Like some people they can do it, and so like your thought process has to be there, everything. And if you're one of those people that can like whose thought process is always like able to produce those streams of thoughts like that, it's easy. But like if you're a person that like gets too technical about everything you're writing, it makes the process a little hard, or just writer's block itself.
Right. Who your favorite writer as like a favorite poet?
Starting out, it was Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh yeah, I heard him.
Edgar Allan Poe, the man he's a poetry legend. Then like people of course like Langston Hughes, County Cullen. I like Big Rude. Modern day writers, J. Cole, Kendrick, poets, Rudy Francisco, you know what I'm saying? Ye.
Yeah.
Prentice Powell, you know, it's a list of them. It's a list of people.
So out of all those names, who motivated you and inspired you to keep doing this?
To keep doing it, I say that's where it started. Edgar Allan Poe. Like for me, where it started, Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, because like poetry was always used to like as roses are red, violets are blue, but like Poe, his poetry got kind of like dark and everything. It was kind of taboo, and it kind of like broke a few of the norms that people were used to, like with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And so like now I'm like, okay, I like that.
We used to read Edgar middle school, I think, all the time. It was like dark humor. So. But it was different. That's all. It was real different. You wrote a book before?
Have I written a book?
Yeah.
I actually just started writing my book like last week.
Really?
Yes. Everybody's been asking about it, and it's coming along pretty nicely.
Okay, what's the name of it gonna be?
It's The Dark, the Light, and the Sight.
The Dark, the Light, and the Sight.
Yeah. It's really, I got about like 20 poems in there.
Okay.
And it's gonna have features with two of my uncles who are also writers.
So your uncles writers too? You ever wrote with them before?
No, I haven't. I've never actually done a full collaborative piece with nobody. I've started some, and we never finished projects, or just like we ain't been able like to get our brain waves on the same length enough. But like, no, they just like sharing with me, and they told me when we get your book together, put ours in there if you don't mind. I was like, perfect.
So when you dropping the book?
To be announced. That's to be announced, because
to be announced.
I got the way I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit. So like, I have a vision that I want for this book. That I even had to like take away some of the stuff from the book that I was gonna put in there, because I'm like, this book gonna be about this thick if I take it the way I want to. But I'm gonna let me put it down, and I got like it's gonna be dope. I'm just saying it's gonna be dope. So to be announced, just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Alright, we're gonna stay tuned for the books. So you think if it's larger, it's too much, or it should be a small portion?
I wouldn't say larger is too much. I'm gonna just real quick break down how I want to do the book.
Okay.
I was gonna do have the poems in the book, have the features in the book, everything. Some pages in the back for like people just to notate what they came up with, inspired them to still put those in there. But also, since people always asking me like, yo, so when you said this bar, what does that mean? You said that. I wanted to do like, like Genius, like Rap Genius, how they be breaking down their songs.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that in the book, but I got like 20 poems in there. Like the way my thought process be, it'd be like a thought on top of a thought on top. So that book could just keep. And I'm like,
a whole lot.
I'm like, yeah, that'll just open up and leave me a lane to do Genius interviews on this time. So.
Okay, that's what's up. What's your favorite thing to write about?
favorite thing to write about?
Yeah.
Real life.
Real life.
Just real life. Like, if it's real, I love writing about it, you know? If it's gonna make you think, I'm gonna write about it.
Okay. So it's coming from Chicago. What's like the pros and the cons?
Of being a poet or just
Of being a poet from Chicago.
The cons are really like, when people are like, you a poet from Chicago, they still like kind of like want to throw you in with like the drill rappers to an extent. I'm not gonna say they just throw you right in there, but like when they hear, are you from Chicago and you an artist, they're like, oh, so you be talking about that rah killing, like that you been like that's not. It's so much more. So you got that stigma around you that you gotta like walk against every time when you're not really dealing with people that's from your city. You know, they don't understand it. The pros are the scene is so thick in Chicago, like it's crazy. Poetry scene is there, and then you know, it's history behind it. You know, slam poetry started in Chicago.
You stay in Miami, right?
Yep.
So have you did some shows in Miami?
Been rocking the South Florida area. You know, they know, man, I've been hit the ground running down there, and it's beautiful.
For real?
Yeah.
What other states you performed in?
I performed in Indiana. I performed in Atlanta a couple times. Yeah, really Illinois, Indiana, Atlanta, and Florida, yep.
And you went to all over the world though?
I'm gonna take this, so I actually plan to start touring.
Okay, world tour on the way. Y'all better look out for it.
Stay tuned, y'all. Don't miss it.
Are there any books that you don't enjoy reading?
Books that I don't enjoy reading?
Yeah.
School history books, because they lies. But, nah. I don't like urban fiction books like that. Like,
You just like what's real?
yeah, like, I mean, the urban fiction looks like it's real, but like all them hood tale stories and all like Blue Friday, like they were good books, but like it just didn't catch my attention.
Okay. What's your favorite type of book to read?
Horror. Stephen King is one of my favorite authors. So horror. I love reading about like the Holocaust, like World War II era. Civil rights, you know, suspense novels, like stuff like that.
Something to keep the mind going.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's really the main thing. I'm a thinker. I'm always thinking.
Have you ever wrote anything based on your life or anybody else's life?
So I have, like a lot of my poetry read more recently has been more so personal. Like, it was in the early part of what I was doing, writing social justice pieces, writing about specific topics, all of this, all of that. But recently I had to ask myself, like, how are you doing all of this? Eventually people are going to want to know about you.
Exactly.
You know, and how you think. So I've been writing a lot about me. Some of the pieces that I've conversed with my friends about, like, they heard it, but then when they asked me about it and I explained it to them, like, it was like way more, they were like, bro, I would have never thought that, like, you was legit talking about yourself. It's like way more in depth about you than we thought it was. Yeah, so I've also written like a part of a short story, which I call like the first chapter, and this is like a while ago. Where if SEAL Team 6's mission to capture Osama bin Laden had failed. So.
What? This is a lot of words you just said. Say it again.
I'm sorry. I wrote a short story back in high school, but I only had like what would be the first chapter of it. And you know, SEAL Team 6, the Navy SEALs, they went to get Osama bin Laden and killed him or whatever.
Okay.
But I wrote a story about the mission had failed.
The mission had failed.
Yeah.
Alright, that's deep. Mission failed. Yeah, we gotta see all these poems.
It's a cold clip for you, man.
Do you enjoy meeting new readers?
I do. New readers are honestly my favorite people because one, as an artist, like when people get to a certain point, they get Hollywood, you know? Like, they be like, yeah, well, I know I got these accolades, I know I got this, I got that. But then, like, you run into these new readers, and, like, it keeps you humble because you're like, damn, I remember when I was at that same state and what I was doing. And it forces you, even if you, like, feel like you're the coldest artist, to take it back to the basics and see how fresh you are on those. And so you can walk them through it, and then even with times constantly changing, you know, so we get older, and these new writers come along, they living in a different time period, looking at it different. So now they teaching you, so it's like an each one teach one type thing. So I love new readers.
It's all about meeting new people, getting new ideas.
I sure.
Yeah. Have you ever been nervous getting on the stage in front of the people?
I'm nervous.
Or is it just...
I'm nervous every time I touch the stage.
Why are you nervous?
Because every show is different. Like, even if you're performing from the same crowd, every show is different. Like, you might have the poem that you go to all the time in your head, down pat, whatever. You might stumble over your words. You might be so caught up in this piece that you love it so much, you might forget a whole few bars, and you like, hey, I gotta go back. And then it's also just like, for me, it's adrenaline. Like, you know, Tom and Jerry, like when their heart be beating, you see it like coming out their chest. Like, that's how, when I'm on stage, that's how my heart is every time.
You ever be using your phone or anything? Like, if you don't remember something?
I used my phone recently, actually, and I hadn't done that in a while. But I mean, like, I used to be like so shy, like, oh no, I'm using my phone, I'm not that good. But yeah, I had to tap back into that because it was a new piece, you know, and that's just simply what it is. If I got something I don't know like that, and I still want y'all to hear it, I'm gonna use my phone. If I got off the top of the dome, I'm gonna spit it for y'all.
How do you remember stuff? You gotta keep practicing over and over?
So it really comes with different, depending on the poem. Once again, like some of the poems, the cadence that I have is easy for me to remember, like how I said these words. So like now I can, okay, this the cadence in this part, this the cadence in this part, and so on and so forth. Some stuff, it comes with the writing process, like when we trying to figure out what to write next. So I'll write a few lines, go over them, I went over them so much in my head trying to figure out what's right next that they're engraved into my mind now. Other stuff is just like, I've performed poems I didn't even realize I remember, but I just want to give it a shot, so it's interesting.
Okay. You ever wrote a song?
I actually just wrote my first song last year. Haven't hopped in the booth yet, but I wrote my first song last year, and I gave it a test run with a couple people, like with the sound I want and everything like that.
You might as well go in the stool.
People they're liking it, and everybody's trying to get me into the stool now. So I'm like, this might be the year I hop into the stool.
Might as well, you know, you gotta keep being productive and keep going with stuff.
No, definitely.
Because they're gonna be like, damn, you a poet and you do some music.
Yeah, I purposely strayed away from the music side because everybody wants to be a rapper nowadays, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to be part of that same wave. Like, it's okay that, and I will put it, and I tell myself, like, bro, stop, think about what everybody else doing. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? So.
You gotta do you. You ever make poems with a rhyme, or do you just go with the flow of it?
I go with the flow, but I'm heavily hip hop influenced, so like most of my stuff has a rhyme cadence to it.
Right.
Like, I honestly, I admire people, like, everybody be like, oh bro, you so dope. But like me, when I run across an artist and they go through their whole poem and they barely even rhyme, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You just like deliver, like, to me, those pieces to me are always monumental because you gave that same energy that somebody up there, like with the love, of course, like the literary devices they use, you didn't even have to do all of that. You just straight got to the point.
Like it's a conversation.
And you made them feel it at the same time. It's like, that's ill. You can't do nothing but respect it.
How do you like congratulate yourself when you finish writing a poem? Like, how do you celebrate that?
Sharing it with like people that I'm real close to get their feedback on it, you know? Because this is a field where you always have to test your muscle, you know? So like after I've written a new poem, I'll go over and I'll just be proud that, like, I'll take pride in the fact that, like, bro, you created something. Like, it's done, it's there.
Yeah.
But then, like, I also congratulate myself by, like, putting it out there because it's for the people. So like, you know, so I gotta give it. That's why I say give it a test run with the people that I'm close to, and like once they be like, okay, I like this, I like to give my critiques back. That I take pride in that. Like that makes me proud. It's like, okay, cool. Because like even though I have a finished piece, if they give me critiques, I can go further. Like I'm pushing forward because now I have to still. I have to create again, so I'm keeping myself fresh. Mm-hmm. So that's really it. Keeping myself fresh with it. Like be proud of the creation that you made, and like use the critiques to keep creating.
Okay. Who motivates you?
I'm tired of working for people.
Yeah.
I'm tired of working for people. It's a lot going on in this world that like people don't want to speak on, but as a poet, that's my job to speak on stuff. And like that's really what poetry like originated. Like send that message out there, you know. And then just really art is the like. There's a saying that no great civilization has ever survived without art. That's the one thing that moves my soul more than anything on this planet. So like, it's therapeutic, it's fun, it's interactive, it affirms, and that's what motivates me. Just healing people and reaching people through art.
Okay. Yeah. So that motivates you to keep healing people?
Yeah, because I'm a poet by the name of K Love. Shout out Mama K Love. She said in one of her pieces, somebody may be awaiting their healing through the revealing of you. And I heard that years ago. When she said that, I was just like...
I need you to repeat that because I felt that, but I need you to repeat.
Somebody may be awaiting their healing through the revealing of you.
Definitely.
Like, it can't get no realer than that. Like, people are like, oh, I'm scared to share this, oh, I'm scared to do this. But me, that motivates me because, like, 35 people in the crowd might not feel it in the crowd of 36, but then that 36th person might be like, yo, I was gonna take my life today, but you said this, and now it motivated me, you know, or it helped me change my mind. Like that healed them. When simply all was being transparent with something for me.
Exactly.
You know, so it could be stuff, and it's situations that I've heard out and about like that with people, and I'm like.
That's definitely true though, because when somebody see you doing something else and they don't feel like they don't have the motivation to do it, they just be like, hey, like, now I feel like I could do it. You like, they congratulate you, and then be like, now I'm finna start doing something.
No, yeah, for real, like you try to push it.
What's the most difficult thing about writing?
That's a good question. I would say, one, if you play like, because if you don't plan like to be a performer with it, writing alone is just like conveying your message. It's conveying the message so that your readers are taking it in for what you put out there. As a performer, it's figuring out like what to write that's gonna really like resonate with people. Like even if it doesn't resonate with you, like on either end of the spectrum, like what to write for your audiences.
Yeah.
What do people want to hear from you? What do you want to see from you? Is that, and then really like coming up with like the concepts. And I don't mean like concept like the idea, but like the concept of like construction of the piece itself.
Okay.
Because you want to take this bar and say this, say that, but you might get like a whole other set of bars that's related to that. But now you got like these whole few, okay, how do I
put it together?
You feel me? Like you go this way, this way. And so the construction, that's another hard part.
The construction of the art. It always takes time. If you could spend a day with another author, who would it be?
Another author?
Yeah, or another poet.
Honestly, it would probably... I still consider Kanye West a poet. Like, even though he's like a rapper, of course, but like, he started as a poet. I spend a day with Kanye West.
He's smart. I don't care what nobody say. That man's smart.
That man is one of the driving forces behind everything I do.
Really?
Like, Edgar Allan Poe is the one that like kickstarted me to like poet, but like the mentality, the push, and everything. Yeah is the motivation behind all of that.
I feel you do. You watched the documentary?
That was a beautiful documentary.
Really?
Beautiful.
I still gotta get into it with it.
No, watch it. It puts so much stuff into perspective about like him. Like people call Kanye crazy, but like
he really smart. Too smart for the world.
He said name one. Look, it didn't bow because he said you heard Kanye say in an interview before, name one genius that ain't crazy. Edgar Allan Poe has a quote that says, "Science has not yet proven whether or not insanity is intelligence in a sublime form."
Hey.
I'm like,
whoa, that was fire.
like, don't get no better than that.
Man, I gotta start getting to his stuff for real, cause he got a lot.
Man, got a lot to say.
So I could be insane, you know, cause I'm a genius. That's it. So don't say I'm crazy. I'm just. If you were to write off a spinoff, what would it be?
A spinoff.
Yeah.
I finished that Bin Laden story. Like the spinoff, like the real narrative is like, oh, we killed Bin Laden.
Yeah.
My spinoff be, what if y'all didn't?
What if y'all did it?
like what if y'all didn't? How was stuff that went then? You know, or it's just so many different ones. Like, you know, some of your favorite shows you watch like that ended, you like, I want to keep that going, like add another aspect. I can't think of nothing like right off top because I watch so much different stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, I know for sure that Bin Laden short story because I never finished it, so I would want to.
You ever wrote a poem about like a movie you watched?
Some of the last poem that I just like, well, one of my newest poems I'm gonna say, is not the last one I wrote. One of my newest poems, it was inspired like mainly with the concept behind Apocalypto. Apocalypto is one of my favorite movies. Like it's in subtitles, but like if the subtitles are off, you still watch the movie. Like the movie is that lit that you're gonna watch it and not know what they're saying, but the action movie speaks for itself.
What's it on? Hulu, Netflix?
It was on Netflix. They took it off. I don't know. It's on Hulu.
They always take the good stuff off. Like,
that movie. You never seen it?
I don't think so. I watch so many movies in life, so I don't.
It's about the Mayan civilization. Like they came, ran through his village. Even he had to save his family. The man was the whole movie. One dude picking people off.
So who inspired you to write?
Like inspired me. Like I said, like Edgar Allan Poe, Kanye type stuff. But like outside of those, like the big names, my teachers pushed me early on, and then like my family is like extremely supportive of my writing. They're like, they love my writing, and they always ask me, "You still support? You still support?" So honestly, my entire village, I'm gonna say that my entire village, anybody that knows me and knows how to write, like if I don't get no other question, they, you still doing poetry? You still writing? You still doing? I'm like, okay. So it's something I gotta do.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, but then again, like, people look to me, so.
People look up to us, so you gotta keep up with people.
Yeah.
What would you tell another upcoming poet that wants to get into it with this type of stuff?
I would tell them, keep pushing no matter what. That's big. Like, hey bro, that piece was fire. Yeah, you the best. Keep pushing. Hey bro, that piece was trash. Keep pushing. There's a phrase I learned called "kill the baby," which means like somebody can come up to you and tell you like whatever you put out is like the most best thing in the world. You in your head like, yeah, I'm that dude. I wrote this. I wrote that. You know what I'm saying? But then somebody tell you like, nah, it was actually trash.
Yeah. And
you like, no, it ain't trash. I don't write trash. That's the baby inside you crying. Kill it. Kill it, because you touched 100 people, but that 101 person was like, no, I don't like it. That's somewhere you can improve, because now you got to figure out how to reach that person as well.
Right.
Along with them 100 other people.
So ignore what they say and just write something else. Like
take the good and the bad, and use all of them to build.
Okay.
Because if you how can you get better if you constantly getting like, oh yeah, congrats, you good, you don't. Ain't nobody telling you no around you. Nobody you run into told you no.
Yeah.
How do you know you can improve?
That's a fact. You gotta have some type of honesty.
Balance.
Balance, yeah.
It's balance.
Balance and honesty.
Facts.
So what else you want to tell the people?
Be on the lookout, man. Y'all see the hoodie, A Javelin's Purpose? Stand up real quick so y'all can see the back. It says, so godly but so earthly, so earthy. This is bars for me as well. The clothing brand is dropping soon. Y'all stay tuned, man. It's a collaboration between me and Don Capri. Y'all can find out who he is soon. That's my brother since the Sandbox. Yeah, it's a lot coming from Salam Poet, man. It's a lot coming from me.
It's a lot coming, so y'all better stay tuned.
Spit Your Piece open mic. Baby girl missed it the other day. She was supposed to be there, and it's fine. It's fine because there's gonna be more. And man, I'm gonna be back once a month to do these shows. Just rock with me. If you see my name on something, you in for a treat every time. Rock with me.
Y'all better tap in. Y'all know what's going on. Tell me your social media and everything where I can get into it with you at.
You can find me pretty much on everything. I just made a TikTok.
Okay.
But you can find me on everything at book.salam the poet, and that's really that. Facebook has my governmental. If you need my Facebook or whatever, ask her. I ain't just gonna throw it out there to y'all. Some of the people on seats, I don't know y'all. But I love y'all.
So I love. Hey y'all, we gonna be right back with another interview on Jazzy Gates TV. We gone.